Look, it's Hu Tao! She looks kind of troubled. Shall we go say hi?
Hey! Stop right there, heroes!
What the? Oh, Xiangling!
I was just kidding around. Happy Lantern Rite! Hope I didn't scare ya.
Nah, of course not. We were just about to go say hi to Hu Tao.
I noticed, which is why I stopped you. We can't disturb her now or we won't get to see the brand spanking new Director Who. Well, I gave her a new outfit as a gift, but she's so used to her uniform that she's hesitant to try it on.
Ooh, what kind of outfit is it?
A bright red one, of course. The color of prosperity and the color of Lantern Rite. But just so you're aware, Hu Tao's not really been herself lately. Whenever I invite her to hang out, she either finds an excuse not to come or spends the whole time staring into space. I've tried asking her what's wrong, but she won't even admit there's a problem. Anyway, so that outfit was my way of saying that I'm here as her friend, and I hope she'll feel better soon.
Paimon was just thinking that she looked kind of troubled. Wow, Hu Tao! Is that a new outfit? It looks great!
Nope. The tailor happened to be in Liyue looking for a change of scenery and fresh inspiration. We got talking and really hit it off, so it was no trouble at all. Oh, stop! I'm just glad you like it. Your voice is as sweet as ever, Hu Tao, but we're your friends. You can't hide how you're feeling from us, no matter how hard you may try. Work-related? You mean the funeral parlor?
You stressing about work? That's gotta be a first. Guess it must be something super complicated, huh? Huh? You think Kuching would be able to help?
Good idea! Especially since it's festival season. I heard the Ministry of Civil Affairs is putting on a street fair with loads of cool stuff to do. Forget about work for now, Hu Tao. Come have fun with us.
Yeah, take some time to relax and recover your energy. Then you'll knock this thing out in no time. Aw, really? You sure you can't get out of it?
Okay, fair enough. But don't take too long. And after the fair, how about we all have a meal at Wanmin Restaurant? My treat, of course.
Me neither! Paimon's drooling already.
I take it these coins go inside the envelope? They look a little different from regular Mora. The sign of Vice Ravana! Yes, originally an exorcism sigil, widely used in thaumaturgy. These days, it's used as a lucky charm to prevent disaster and bring favor. Quite popular with business owners, hoping for peace and prosperity. Interrupted you, didn't I? Oh, sorry. I just got a little carried away. I meant no offense, Lady Yuhong. You flatter me, Lady Yuhong. My family are but distant relatives. We would hardly consider ourselves the true heirs to that illustrious lineage. Well, I won't deny that I pride myself on my level of learning. So by all means, it would be my pleasure to assist the Lady Yuhong.
Ka-ching! Hard at work with the festivities as usual, huh? Wow, nice to meet you, Madam Lun.
The Traveler, his buddy Paimon, and Xiangling. Hello! Oh, sorry. Interrupted again, didn't I? It's just quite exciting. Meeting these 3 people I've heard so much about. I never imagined I'd get the chance.
I think you mean 2 people, right? I'm just a chef. A good one, but it's not that much to get excited about. You don't need to include me just to be polite.
Oh, I beg to differ. The first meal I ate in Liyue Harbor was at Wanmin Restaurant. Xiangling's cooking gave my taste buds plenty to be excited about. Please, call me Lanyan. And I'm no master craftswoman. Just a humble maker of handicrafts. they like Adepti? Wow, Paimon's never heard that story before. Shaped like a huge tree, right?
Oh! I think I heard that one from a storyteller once. The sanctification of Tao Du. So Tao Du is the giant tree? Even today, in my hometown, people still say things like, "You'll never cross Mount Taodu when you die." It's very insulting, though, so don't go around repeating it.
Oh no! And then what?
That's where the sanctification of Tao Du comes in. The 8 adepts rose up to solve the crisis and laid down a great magic array to purify Tao Du.
Wait! The border? The border between life and death? That's where it comes from?
So the legends say, but who knows if it's true?
Those 8 adepts must be super powerful if they could purify a god. Are we sure they weren't just adepti?
Yep. And in fact, their tale specifically emphasizes that most of them were ordinary humans. If I remember right, they were from several groups that joined forces. A Guiqiang one, a Lianshan one, and... Right, the 3 hermits of Guizang, the 2 sages of Lianshan, and the 3 beasts of Tao Du. Collectively, the 8 adepts. The mainstream narrative holds that the Guizang hermits and the Lianshan sages were human. That's certainly what the clan genealogies claim, although my personal knowledge of Chiman divination is very patchy. Seriously? Did Shinsho tell you that? 'Cause it sounds like something right out of a martial arts novel.
So what about the 3rd hermit? So it's true? The Wangsheng funeral parlor really does have a secret art? I heard from Hu Tao that she has a flaming staff handed down by her forebears. Apparently it has special powers used for cleansing rituals. But it could just be another one of her tall tales. Oh, you probably haven't met Hu Tao yet, have you? She's the director at the funeral parlor. I've never had the pleasure, but I've certainly heard of Director Hu Tao.
Okay, well, these Guizhong hermits sound pretty legit. How about the two sages and the three beasts? What's their story?
I heard there's a hidden palace deep in the mountains south of the Stone Gate. Traditionally, that's believed to be where they retreated for cultivation.
So, what were they? Monsters or something? Huh? All three of them? Oh, right. Ganyu's here. Okay. Of course not. Aw, what? Not you too? Seems like everyone's busy with work.
The traveler's being especially nice today, checking in on everyone's well-being.
Well, what other option does he have? It's not like he can drag them away from their desks and force them to have fun against their will.
I actually have something I need to do as well, so I should get to the Wangsheng funeral parlor. Oh, are you looking for Hu Tao? She's supposed to meet us here so we can grab lunch. Why don't you come with? If you don't mind the extra company, of course. Not at all. I'd love to. What a nice surprise. Perfect! Hu Tao should have joined us here by now. I guess her meeting overran. Why don't we head to the funeral parlor?
Okay, let's go!
Where do you want to go next? If you'd like to see Liyue's tourist spots, I have a few references.
What are all these... Aura for? They're huge! And so shiny!
Lady Yuhong said they're fortune coins. Go on, give them a rub. It'll bring you good luck.
This is how effective.
Are these lanterns? Nope. They're toys that shoot fireworks. New to this year's festival. You should try them, Paimon.
Exactly. Since this has come at such a festive time, I'd rather keep things low-key to avoid disturbing the celebrations. Sure, but let's stick with something small. His lordship has never been a fan of ostentation. It sounds perfect. You think of everything, Director Who. Yes. His lordship had one made 2 years ago, in fact. He sourced an excellent block of gloomwood and had an artisan convert it into a casket. It's currently being stored at the old family house at Yilong Wharf. It's like you read my mind. Master expressed the same concern, but he also said he has full confidence in the Wangshang Funeral Parlor's judgment in this area. That sounds ideal. Oh, and we should put some rugs down. Make them tortoiseshell. His lordship is very fond of that color. Master requested no music procession, but 16 pallbearers. Nothing flashy. Plain clothes will do, as long as they're smart and all dressed the same. Open sedan chair, please, with 4 pairs of white plaques and 20 pairs of red plaques. Yes, 2 sets of gold weaponry and 2 sets of soul banners, 4 items per set. That will do nicely. For the hanging banner, we want an octagonal tube with 8 tassels per corner and a dome of red gauze covering the top. As for the portrait pavilion, we're looking to do 1 incense pavilion with 2 spare rooms. One is a changing room, the other is a display room, and we'd like a plain white cover over the whole thing. Ah, I knew I missed something. The family neglected to consider that in their sorrow, but it's a minor detail. What would your suggestion be? Excellent! I must say, Director Who, you really understand your clients.
Greetings, Director Who. Lady Ningguang has arrived, and she would be most grateful if you could join her at Yujing Terrace.
Of course. I've taken plenty of your time already. Don't let me keep you.
Of course, Director. I'll handle it.
The Who family is truly blessed. It seems their directors go from strength to strength with each generation.
I agree. She was born for the job.
Ah, yes, Madam Undertaker. I didn't get the chance to discuss payment with the director.
There's no rush. I gathered from your conversation that the situation is still unfolding. This was just an initial meeting, so that we can make advanced preparations, yes?
That's right. Master asked me to come a few days ahead of time so that things aren't rushed at the last minute. On that note, please do keep everything strictly confidential for now. No public announcements.
Of course. You have my word.
Thanks. Could I trouble you for a pro forma invoice? Easier for the family to review that way.
I'll get that to you in due course. Oh, hello. Can I help you?
Hey, Fairy! We're looking for Hu Tao. Is she here?
You just missed her, unfortunately. She's attending a meeting elsewhere.
Oh. Any idea when she'll be back?
She didn't say, but she only left a moment ago. She could be some time. If it's anything urgent, I'd be happy to take a message for you and I'll relay it to her as soon as she returns.
Oh, no, it's nothing urgent.
If you'd prefer to speak with her directly, you can always wait till she's free.
Well, this sucks. Paimon thought Hu would be done with work by now.
I guess she's got more on her plate than we realized. Well, there's not much point in hanging around here. Why don't we go eat and come back later?
Paimon is getting a little hungry. But shouldn't we wait for Hu Tao?
It sounded like she's gonna be a while. Besides, I can always fire up the stove again once she's back.
Okay, sounds good. Madam Lan, you must be getting hungry too, right? You should come with us.
Madame Lan? Oh, sorry. I spaced out. Whatever works for you.
Alright, Fairy, we'll head off then.
Can you let Hu Tao know where we are when she gets back?
Sure. Take care, everyone. Butler Anne?
Ma'am, do you happen to know who that young lady with the black hair is?
I haven't met her before, but that silver swallow hairpiece makes me wonder if she's from Chenyu Vale.
Chenyu Vale,
Something the matter?
Well, it's just... So the other day, when I was out shopping, I ran into her and Master. They were chatting away, and I noticed that she showed him a very peculiar-looking rattan figure. Later that day, as I was moving his lordship to a more comfortable bedroom, I saw something underneath his bed. And would you know it, it was that same rattan figure. There was some kind of spell written on it. It was icy cold to the touch and made the whole room chilly. The whole thing seems very sinister.
Oh my goodness. Are you suggesting that there could be unnatural causes behind his lordship's condition? Well, I've heard they practice Chi-Men magic in Chenyu Vale. Pendhead fortune conveyance, fate transference, and the like.
The last thing I want to do is start suspecting anyone, but with his lordship bedridden and Master urging me to start discussing funeral arrangements, I can't help but think. Sorry. Look at me rambling away. I'm sure I'm just being paranoid. Please forget I said anything, and certainly don't repeat this to anyone else.
Don't worry, Butler Anne. The Wangsheng Funeral Parlor understands the importance of discretion. Client confidentiality is paramount.
How's... Osmanthus wine tastes the same as I remember. But where are those who share the memory?
I've told you already, I don't go in for that kind of thing. I've got more important matters to attend to.
Oh, but this event has commemorative significance. The church hopes that all sisters will be present.
Hopes? That's odd, because I don't recall a fulfill the hopes of others clause in my job description.
I mean, sure, but...
But what? You're the event organizer, aren't you? Do you not find it the least bit odd?
What do you mean?
This far out from Mondstadt at this hour? Even if you set out right now, I'll wager you'd still miss the opening ceremony. Who knows? Maybe this is someone's grand plan to make a fool out of you.
Huh? Well, that can't be. People aren't like that.
Evidence decides what people are like, not your feelings. Maybe you're a little too trusting of other people. Don't fret, nobody's gonna blame you if you go back empty-handed. I can't imagine anyone else was delusional enough to think I was gonna show up. But if you dally any longer, you really won't make it.
You're right. It's a very important commemorative event. If I'm late, then... right, I've gotta get going.
Seems like that sister's an expert in making people believe anything she wants.
I thought I heard something. Who are you and why are you eavesdropping?
We'd better watch out. She seems like a dangerous villain, or a trickster at best.
Oh, really? I'm a member of the long-standing Favonius Church. You're an eavesdropping pixie from who knows where, and you think I'm the trickster?
Wait, she heard that? Paimon was whispering so quietly.
And as for this outlander you seem to be following... So it's you. The honorary knight that saved us from storm terror. Well then, given your status, I won't press you on your reasons for eavesdropping. Otherwise, depending on your answer, I could have arrested you on the spot.
What? Do the Sisters of Mondstadt have the authority to arrest people now?
We can't go turning a blind eye to hidden dangers, can we? Why shouldn't sisters have a sense of justice?
That doesn't sound right. But Paimon can't think of a good comeback.
Let's talk about you. What are you doing in the mountains? If it's him you're after, I made a point of noting his tracks. Many people have made their way up after the snowstorm. Let's hope they're still there.
So, are you also looking for him?
No, this is just a professional habit of mine. I sensed elemental traces in these tracks. Never hurts to be vigilant. I couldn't care what you think. Come on then. I'd like to see what he's up to anyway.
Rosaria said there were elemental traces in the tracks. They should show up pretty clearly with elemental sight.
unsolicited, and all the more valuable for it.
Gather! I will have order!
You know, little pixie, your ability to appear and disappear at will is very interesting.
Yeah?
After committing a crime, you'd be able to leave the scene without a trace.
You're so suspicious. Why is Paimon a criminal in your example?
Let's end this quickly! Gather! You need to hurry up! I will change you. Roast and fries time! This is order! Collect myself! Stabilize! This is trouble. So quiet.
It's getting colder and colder. Rosaria, aren't you freezing?
Me? I'm alright. I got used to operating in adverse conditions a long time ago.
Huh? Seems like there's more to being a sister in the Favonius Church than Paimon realized.
Every journey has its final day. Don't rush.
Is that Albedo? Why would he hang around a place like this?
The word on the street is he loves painting. He'll hang around anywhere for a good landscape. The views and scenery here are pretty good. Potential paintings everywhere you look.
But can't he see those hilly churros? Isn't he in danger? Uh-oh. Looks like we startled them. Enough talk! Let's take them out of the picture first!
Who are you? Why did you alarm them? Thank the gods I'd already completed my painting. Would have been a shame to leave these particular hilly trails unfinished.
What's up with painting hilly churls? What makes them so interesting?
I'm afraid the answer isn't easy to explain. If you'd like to have a look at my painting, it may give you a clue.
Wow, look at the detail! But some of it seems to have been done in a hurry.
You can find these hilly trails anywhere. Quite boring, in fact. Not worth closer inspection. But take a look at this specimen. The build, the coat, and there's a distinct force at work here. In the cyclical lives of such primitive communities, such unique attributes are an indication of evolution at work. Evolution, the transition from nothing into existence, from the known to the
Hold your horses. Ugh, something tells me we're in for a thesis and I haven't got the stamina. We found your man. I'm headed back.
What? Don't you have any questions for him? Hey! Ugh, what a weirdo.
So Sister Rosaria brought you. Surprising. And I didn't have time to thank her. But back to the point. From her words, it seems that you were looking for me?
Mm-hmm. We met a girl in Mondstadt, Sucrose. She said you were stuck with your research.
I see. So Sucrose sent you here. Then, if I'm not mistaken, you must be the honorary knight. You've got the whole of Mondstadt talking. I've heard a bit of everything. Your actions during Storm Terror's attack, your elemental control, and quite a few other mysterious things. I'll skip to the conclusion. There's only one possibility after all. You came from afar. From another world, correct? Excellent. If I could procure your assistance, I think my research would benefit enormously. Forgive me. This must be confusing. Where should I begin? The essence of life?
Whoa. You want to start with that?
You're right. Giving a demonstration would be better than trying to explain. For example, awakening life. Breathing new life into fallen leaves.
You can do that?
However, I have a particular seed in my possession. The method I'm talking about has produced no results. It's like you, in that it hails from another world. Helping it to grow, to bloom. That's the problem my research is up against. That's where I need your assistance.
Well, if you're struggling to figure it out, Paimon's not sure we're gonna be much assistance.
I beg to differ. I'm unable to comprehend the intricacies of life outside of the known world. But you're not from the known world. By observing and researching you, I may just be able to find a way to get the seed to sprout.
Shall we just get out of here? This sounds a little freaky.
It's possible. But I will do everything in my control to ensure your safety. Time for a change of surroundings. We should be going. There's research to do.
Albedo and that traveler seem to have hit it off. Takes a weirdo to know one, I guess. I wonder, does this constitute a risk to Mondstadt?
Osmanthus wine tastes the same as...
Has a question. After the seed sprouts, will it grow into anything?
I don't know, but I feel the importance will lie in the method, not the endpoint. Using alchemy to awaken otherworldly life into that would constitute a big leap in my understanding of the essence of life. After awakening, even creation may be possible. Still a little difficult to understand?
No, Paimon's got a brain. But what's the seed gonna become? Isn't that more interesting than whatever it was you were saying?
Well, if it turns out to be a delicious fruit, dinner's on me.
Yay! Paimon's holding you to it.
Well, let's just say I, occasionally have to look after a child. Another lengthy explanation, I'm afraid. I suppose it's one of the few non-alchemy-related disciplines I'm any good at. The subject of my first research was the elements. In this world, manipulating the elements requires a vision. Though I can't see anything resembling one on your person. How you're able to freely manipulate elemental power is something I'd like to ascertain. I've got a few questions in that regard. Firstly, do you have any extra organs? A second heart? A fourth stomach? Things of that nature. Fascinating. And this floating child is connected to your body in some way?
What a stupid question! Can't you see the gap between us? And another thing, it's Paimon, not floating child!
I was merely considering the possibility that you were an external organ. Perhaps there is some invisible force connecting you. Oh, that rules out that possibility. I wonder, did Paimon guide the elemental power to you? But that would mean that Paimon's elemental power would be enough to break through a mountain rock at least 10 meters thick, or cause the waterfall south of Springfield to flow backwards. No, that definitely can't be it.
Hey! How would you know anyway?
In that case, it would appear that there's no obvious difference between the composition of your body and that of the humans in this world. Given that there's clearly a discrepancy in your research, it seems that only experimentation will yield the answers. Firstly, this mysterious elemental power. I'd like to examine exactly how it manifests externally. Let me lure a few slimes to the area. Perhaps you'd be able to defeat them, using whatever method comes most naturally to you.
Huh? Doesn't seem very sciencey.
Direct and clear observation are imperative to a good experiment. This is just a simple exercise. Naturally, if you require a greater challenge, we could bring in 6 Oceanids.
Slimes! Slimes are fine!
Well, prepare yourself. The slimes will be here any moment.
Solidify! This is order. Stabilize. Let the mighty be humbled.
Great work. Did you feel anything out of the ordinary? If you're injured, I have a few emergency potions ready. Excellent. According to my observations, the manifestation of the external elemental flow is as expected. Elemental reactions are normal. There's nothing out of the ordinary. Now that we know that the external flow is manifesting normally, let's test the internal flow.
Internal flow? How do you test that?
It's very simple. I can use alchemy to create a potion that will extract elemental power. If the elemental power is stored or accumulated physically within your body, this potion may elicit an elemental reaction.
Sounds kinda terrifying.
Don't worry. In the normal course of events, you'd feel some temporary queasiness. No bodily injury.
And in the abnormal course of events?
If anything unexpected occurs, I've made the necessary preparations. Try not to worry. Well, it's not that there aren't any risks involved. But if there is anything blocking your elemental flow, we'll be able to locate it with this test. Just a warning. If an internal elemental reaction occurs for any other reason, that's a bad sign. Yes, that's an excellent way to think about it. Before we get started, the potion we'll use for the test is missing a catalyst. We'll need to find it. It's a type of ore known as star silver, but unfortunately not all of it is suitable. I'll take you to my campsite. We can gather some star silver ore on the way. I'll point out any likely contenders. All going to plan, we should be able to begin concocting the potion when we get to the campsite.
Paimon's still got a few safety concerns, but it seems like there's a silver lining. Let's keep our eyes open.
Here. Should do for catalyst purposes. This one. Usable with a bit of polish.
Right. I will have order.
What luck. This should be enough. My campsite is just up ahead. I'll lead the way. This is my campsite. I've added the materials we collected to the concoction. While we are waiting, have a look over here. My assistant Timaeus here is helping me with my research. I'm guessing you may have met in Mondstadt already.
Hello! I've just gotten hold of the data from your experiment. The report is already up on the board there.
Whoa! Look at all the data! You got all these results from one slime battle?
I wouldn't call them results, inferences, and a few daring guesses perhaps. I think the most rational direction would be to expound on the phylogenetic relationship between this traveler and the slimes. Consider. You don't have a vision, but you can manipulate elemental energy. The slimes don't have visions either, yet they too are able to manipulate the elements. Following this line of thought, I'm sure we'll be able to establish a basis in fact.
Not bad for a point of entry. But strictly speaking, slimes are elemental life forms. In other words, beings consisting entirely of the elements. A cryoregis vine, or even a whopperflower might be a better analogy. But tracing back the phylogenetic relationships between plants and animals, you might have to trace back to the world's origins. In that sense, things might get difficult, don't you think?
Yes, sir. That sounds correct.
After all, we've got our primary data already. This traveler is a visitor from another world. If it turned out that he did have a phylogenetic relationship with this world... Now that really would be something, wouldn't it?
Ah, it would. Apologies. I was so excited to get the data. I'll slow down a bit next time. Speaking of data, to complete our research, we'll need some more. I'll be conducting analysis here for the time being. If you're keen for an update, just come and find me.
Great. I'll leave you to it. Looks like the potion's ready. I'll try a little first. If all goes well, I'll hand it over to you. In line with my expectations. Ready to drink. Remember to keep calm at all times, and breathe deeply if you feel unwell.
Where do you want to go next? If you'd like to see Liyue's tourist spots.
Tasty? You've got a funny look on your face. You said you tried some already. You sure it was ready? What happened to him?
Oh, this was the result I was expecting. And a very positive one at that. This potion channels elemental power into the body. Under normal circumstances, a repelling reaction is to be expected. But if the internal elemental flow is unimpeded, you'll only experience momentary discomfort. Once the flow is complete, there won't be any other effects.
So you knew you'd be sick and still drank some?
It was my own concoction, of course. Only natural for me to be the guinea pig. Perhaps it's just scholarly self-assurance. and it certainly speeds things up. In conclusion, I'd say we have our conclusion. As far as elemental energy is concerned, you're no different from anyone else in this world. Nothing peculiar.
Aw, Paimon wanted something cooler to happen.
Then again, better an ordinary result than a peculiar result. Peculiar results have a tendency to be of the undesirable variety. The good thing about ordinary is that everything is an object of reference, and everyone understands you. People are the same, they can understand, empathize, encourage, and support one another. When you're sick, a doctor can diagnose you because they are you. When something goes wrong, you can ask people who've made the same mistake for their experience because you are them. But a peculiar person, they don't have much recourse for the things we take for granted. The essence of their life is fundamentally different. For example, a human can't understand the life of a pyroregisvine or an eye of the storm. Have I explained it clearly enough? To sum up, this has been a positive outcome. Going forward, you can use your elemental power without fear. Timaeus, the results of the new experiment are out. If you could see to collating them.
Just a moment, sir. I'll handle it. Oh, you gave me a lot to consider. Really stretched my limits. I'm thinking a lot clearer now. Having you down as an animal wasn't very precise of me, but starting with the premise of an elemental life form, now that was...
Not bad. I think it's an interesting line of inquiry. Whatever the truth of the matter, I'd like your research at the fore as opposed to my judgment.
You can count on me, sir. I'll extract a result satisfactory to all.
Is he trying to join the Knights? He's starting to sound like a suck-up. What Paimon meant to say was, that's the spirit! Mr. Albedo, say something!
Before we can proceed with our research, I need to... prepare something. Wait one moment. If you're interested, why not have a look around? It may help to pass the time.
Here comes Albedo! Let's go see him!
I'm back. Did you see anything interesting? Not to worry. They're all for alchemical purposes. You'd be hard-pressed to find an everyday use for them. Well, on with the research. There may be significant differences between different worlds. Take Tevat, for example. Here, those with visions can manipulate the elements. But worlds may well exist where only one person is able to do so. Or even everyone. So, leaving elements to one side, do you possess any unique abilities? Ones that don't exist in this world? I think answering this question calls for the same methodology as last time. In other words, time for the next experiment. No. You shan't be required to exert quite so much effort this time around. Now, see this pillar here? Use your willpower to try and break it. That was your best effort? Well, can't be helped, I suppose.
What's with the disappointment? Isn't that, like, impossible?
Have you tried using your elemental power with food? I don't mean for cooking as such. Rather, channeling your power into the ingredients themselves. I'm curious to see how the taste and texture respond. It may even help with proliferation. I suppose I have a curiosity for things that others find surprising. Anyway, why don't you cook us up a sunshine sprat? I've just finished preparing the recipe.
Cooking? Paimon was looking forward to more mad scientist stuff.
Not only is this recipe a staple for me, it's also worth experimenting with and highly nutritious.
Paimon bets you're just hungry. It does sound yummy, though. Okay, Paimon approves. Good buddies are always on the same page.
I'll leave you to it then. Looking forward to the results. If there's anything left over, maybe Timaeus can finish the last morsels.
Paimon doesn't think we'll have that problem. How are we gonna channel elemental power into the food? Maybe try the willpower thing again. Where does it get these ideas from anyway? Let's just do it the old-fashioned way.
Every journey has its final day. Don't rush.
That was fast. Looking forward to testing the results. An average outcome experimentally, but you've really brought out the flavor. You seem well versed in the science of gastronomy. As far as the proliferation hypothesis is concerned, we've come up short. Seems like food presents the same headaches in your world as it does ours. Unless... could it be that the natural laws of this world are limiting your unique abilities?
We just didn't know how to channel elemental power into the food. It's a little more complicated than adding herbs and spices, you know.
Not to worry. At least we put some food to good use. No need to feel disheartened. And here's your portion. Enjoy. I can box it up if you like.
Woohoo! Thanks! Glad you were paying attention.
I can tell that you're good friends. Paimon was keeping an eye on you and your safety during the whole experiment. Not that Paimon would have been able to do much if things had gone wrong. But anyway.
Hey! You were being nice a second ago! But you do have tasty recipes, so Paimon forgives you. And you're right, we are good friends. You have good friends too, right? Good students?
Yes. I'm fortunate too, I suppose. Anyway, moving on to the next experiment. There are all manner of alchemical items here. Keeping them in their proper place is a challenge at the best of times. A while ago, I had the misfortune of misplacing a batch. I managed to retrieve the majority, but 2 vials have been evading me. Animal crystal fly elemental extract and electrohypostasis powder.
Paimon's barely finished eating and you want us to go gathering again?
Don't worry if you can't locate them. I was planning to replace them anyway. Though finding them would save me the hassle. If you had, say, a superpower, like night vision or vibratory sensing, lost property would be a thing of the past. I must have dropped them somewhere in the area where you were looking just now.
So, guess we'd better take a look. Oh yeah! You could use elemental sight! This must be electrohypostasis powder! The extract of an animal crystal fly can only be animal elemental energy, right? This has gotta be it! Still in one piece! Good thing the vial's so strong!
Goodness, you managed to find them. Incredible. 1,000 thanks. I'm wondering, this elemental sight, this is what allowed you to locate the items and find me here on the mountains, correct?
Yep! Guess it does sorta count as a superpower, huh?
Unfortunately, though elemental sight is seldom seen, it is not unheard of in Teyvat. Only a never-before-seen otherworldly power would be of benefit to my research.
You mean, we failed again?
Don't be disheartened. This falls entirely within my expectations. Besides, getting these items back, I'd call this a very worthwhile experiment. I have to commend your deduction that the items would contain elemental traces. Right then. Up until now, our research has focused on your otherworldly identity. Our research on your identity as one of us is just beginning. In essence, the differences between humans are reflected in our intellectual and physical capabilities. Let's start with physical. Looking out from where we're standing, can you see what Sucrose is doing? And if you jump from here and landed on that cliff, the one over there, could you see her then? So what about if you planted a single blow on the mountain face here, and it burst into 1,000,000 fragments? Then could you see her? Then I shouldn't get too excited. Still, we'll gain a more thorough understanding with an experiment. I know of a location that will be perfect for a physical test. Please, follow me.
to jump? From up here?
Not necessarily. Not if you know of a better method, that is. Whichever method you choose, the experiment will end when you reach the opposite shore of the lake. I will factor the time expended and your top speed into my comparative analysis.
The opposite side of the lake. So, we're gonna be swimming?
Without limitations, we complete tasks intuitively, using the method that seems most rational to us. Some of us would be unable to stand the icy waters. Others might find the whole thing rather refreshing. No matter what choice you make, it's all a part of the experiment. For me, every detail is invaluable to the research. Then if you would, please, I eagerly await the results.
Wait a minute! While we're busy testing, what exactly are you gonna be doing?
Me? Recording data, responding to risks, providing, emotional support.
So if we do decide to go swimming, you gonna dive in with us?
No. Unless you're thinking of conducting competitive research?
Oh! Forget Paimon said anything.
Great work. I've never seen a performance quite like it. Your reputation precedes you, Traveler. The data shows that you're easily outperforming the average citizen in Mondstadt.
But you followed us the whole way without breaking a sweat!
Me? Actually, I used alchemy to cheat a little. But anyway. If it turns out that the natural laws of Tavad do not affect you, I should be able to make various inferences about the otherworldly civilization you belong to. If the natural laws of Tavad do affect you, then I shall be able to make inferences into the kind of evolution that would occur under the absence of such effects. The innumerable possibilities that this could present, the captivating insights, it would be something to savor again and again.
But how does this help your research?
You've helped me to unravel many of the problems that were holding it back. When we return to the campsite, I should be able to show you something interesting. I may be about to make some analogies between you and a few unusual specimens. I hope you won't be offended. Gold, petrified trees, a sun 8 times the size of our own. The essence of the investigative process is enthralling, but such feelings are inevitably fleeting in nature. I'm willing to pour all my energy into research, and yet specimens are finite. As the unknown transitions into the realm of scientific understanding, the feeling of enlightenment is lost. All these things that start out as objects of fascination end up possessing the prosaic mundanity of a sunsetia or a sweet flower. They cease to be noteworthy.
Oh, so that's why you wanted to paint those hilly turtles? Because you got to see something new and interesting in the differences between them?
Precisely. To quote my exact words from earlier, these creatures are, for the most part, quite boring, not worth closer inspection. There is precious little about them that serves to pique my curiosity now.
So after all these experiments, are we gonna be, like, boring to you? Like some basic draft of a sketch?
Of course not. You have been of great assistance to me, and I will remember this friendship for a lifetime. Now, before we head back to the campsite, There's one more experiment. Intelligence. Follow me. There are some other ruins nearby.
Solidify! Order guide you! Stabilize! Gather!
I imagine you must have encountered more than a few conundrums during your travels. I'd like to observe your intelligence by means of a practical test of your capabilities, much as we did for the physical test. I'd like you to explore these ruins and return with your findings. There are 2 puzzles located at the far ends of the ruins. After completion, you should be able to activate the mechanism in the center. As with the physical test, there are no restrictions. Everything you do is an action I wish to observe. A tried and tested adventurer, I see. So, let's see you in action. Start wherever you like. It's a complex environment, so proceed with caution. Sealy like these are a common sight in the mountains. Returning them to their rightful places is up to you.
Order. Stabilize! Order guide you.
It should now be possible to activate the central mechanism. Exactly what will happen when you do is something I'm looking forward to finding out.
Hey! Explaining things is Paimon's job!
Oh, seems that the water level has suddenly decreased. We should be able to see what's in the water now. Let's have a look. What's this? To the best of my knowledge, these belong to a script of some kind. They can be found all over Teyvat, but they've never given up their secrets. There's still a lot to learn about them. And as for why they should ever have come to rest here, a true mystery. Let me make a copy first. I'll make time to go over them in greater detail after our research.
Another thing for the don't understand list. Unsolvable mystery this, weird experiment that. It'd be nice to get some cool results for once. Seems like if you want the reward, you gotta pay the price.
I've truly gained a lot from all this. Comparatively, the little reward I can offer is too small to mention. Let me return to the campsite first. By the time you get back, I may just have a fleeting miracle for you to witness.
Paimon's kinda looking forward to seeing the results of all this brain ache. Unless you can think of anything better to do, let's head back to the campsite.
Not so fast. You're not leaving until I'm convinced that nothing dangerous is going on here.
You didn't leave the mountain?
I most certainly did not. And I've witnessed everything that you and Albedo have been up to. I must say, you let your guards down. Or maybe you were drawn in by his compelling-sounding hypothesis and friendly demeanor. Taking orders from a complete stranger, drinking anonymous potions, participating in all kinds of strange experiments? I'd sooner believe you were tricked than that you would be so naive. Or perhaps you were colluding from the beginning.
Sister Rosaria's guard's so high she can't even see over the top of it.
It doesn't matter what you think. He could be a saint for all you know. But I understand him a little better than you, Outlander. I'm only concerned with one thing. Whether his alchemy has transformed you into something more sinister.
No way! Paimon would have sensed it! And anyway, he didn't even use any alchemy!
With an alchemist of his level, you wouldn't sense a thing. In any case, I'm not about to let a potential threat back into Mondstadt.
So, what are you gonna do?
I've got to hand it to you. You have your moments. If I can be sure that nothing you came into contact with is dangerous, that's good enough for me. I've investigated everything else. The only items left on the agenda are these symbols.
But we don't even know what they mean.
That much is true. Not to mention, seems like there's nothing more to them. But for insurance purposes, I'd better make a copy. This is now a location of interest. Regular patrols should be set up here. Now then, all things considered, I deem that you pose no immediate threat. Which is what I was hoping. I would have been one very unhappy sister if you'd made me work overtime on your account.
Overtime?
Before we go our separate ways, Outlander, a word of advice. Don't be so quick to trust Albedo, and don't repeat the same mistakes that you did this time. You made a lot of rash decisions today.
She's gone! So stubborn. Mondstadt doesn't have many people like that. Huh. Never mind her. Let's go see Albedo!
You're back. Good timing. I've just about reached the conclusion. You took quite a while. Did you get held up on the way back? Time for the results. We got a myriad of data today, and it was very difficult to finish all the research in one go. But the integral preliminary conclusion that I can offer you is you're very much like a human from this world.
You couldn't tell that just by looking? We spent all day working our butts off for that?
Please, I understand that this may have seemed self-evident to you, but in fact, nothing in this world should be taken for granted. Have you ever considered that the world of Teyvat may have a natural hostility to Outlanders? I mentioned the natural laws of this world. You're able to converse with me here without consequence, and nothing seems amiss. But it's arguably a small miracle. The only other life form that, like you, has come here from afar is the seed that I mentioned. Under the effects of Teyvat's natural laws, it isn't even able to sprout, let alone bloom. But after I observed you, I had another idea. Imitating you helped to inspire my alchemy. And so...
Whoa! It looks like something's appearing!
The transition from nothing into something, from shoot to stem, and now to fruition. Is not nurturing otherworldly life also nurturing the world itself?
Aww.
It would seem that that's as far as we go. A transient bloom of incomparable beauty. Life's proudest achievement.
Paimon thought, with all our efforts, it might have bloomed forever. And it didn't even have any fruit.
Life is a manifold tapestry of free entities. Its value shouldn't derive from how long it stays with us. Even a momentary burst is precious. A short life can be well lived. A life lived efficiently, lived to perfection, is necessarily one unburdened by loneliness. So, do you understand what I meant about us conversing here arguably being a small miracle?
Things feel a little heavy right now. Don't be sad. You've got Paimon to look after you. Albedo, Paimon really wants to be your friend.
Thank you both. Even if dispelling loneliness is not essential for life, it certainly doesn't hurt. Your help inspired me to discover the means to make a flower bloom. I mean that the time I've spent traveling with you in the mountains was a valuable journey for me. In the future, if the need arises, can I solicit your help again? Well, glad I can count on you. I made a point throughout of telling him how ordinary the results were. But what was that sediment I saw forming at the bottom of the vial? It should not have been there. What could it mean? Those born of Earth are bound by its imperfections, but those born of chalk are free of impurities. You and I are alike, both composed of a substance that has yet to be fully defined. If, one day, I lose control, destroy Mondstadt, destroy everything, can I rely on you to stop me?
Osmanthus wine tastes the same as I...
Ad Astra. Ad Astra. Thank you for complete.
I brought some friends over. I'm cooking today. Dad? Dad!
Over here, Xiangling.
Oh, there he is. He's over at Ying R's place. Let's go say hi. Huh? Timaeus? What's wrong with him?
That scent. Oh, this is so embarrassing. A few days ago, he said he wanted to come and spend the festival with me, but he started to feel unwell as soon as he arrived last night, and now he's gone and passed out. I think maybe the journey took it out of him, or perhaps he caught a cold on the way. Anyway, I was about to take him to Boo Boo Pharmacy to see the doctor, so I asked Chef Mao to watch the store while I'm gone.
Wait, you weren't gonna carry him all that way by yourself, were you? Let us help.
I couldn't possibly ask that of you. If you're sure, I'm very grateful for the help.
Why don't I watch the store? As it happens, I know a thing or two about perfume.
I'm sorry, I don't believe I've had the pleasure.
Oh, this is Madame Lan Yen, a craftswoman from Chenyu Vale. You can trust her.
Oh, a friend of yours then. Thank you, Madame Lan Yen. That would be a huge help.
Xiangling, I guess that means we're free to head back. Let's get cooking so the troops can feast on their triumphant return.
Great minds think alike, Dad. Go on, get Timaeus to Boo Boo Pharmacy. And don't forget to come eat when you're done.
Thank you all.
What do you mean by that? Oh no, did you get sick too? Oh no! Sorry to hear that. That sounds really serious. None of them could figure out what it was? That seems strange. Oh no. Xingqiu, this must be so hard for you.
Feeling any better?
fit as a fiddle, dear. As in the instrument, not the finger twitching.
It's nothing serious, probably just exhaustion from the long journey, then not resting properly afterwards.
It's all my fault.
I'm prescribing a nutritious soup to be taken every night before bed. Here's the recipe. That should sort him out. But if his symptoms persist, make sure to come and see me again.
Thank you, Dr. Baiju.
Looks like Timaeus is gonna be alright. That's a relief. Eeying-R, you should probably get this guy back right away. Baiju says he needs to rest.
Agreed. Plus, I shouldn't keep Madame Lanyan waiting too long. Drop by later when you've got a second, so I can thank you both properly.
Ah, Master Xingqiu. I won't beat around the bush. The situation is looking a little more complicated than I'd initially thought. It would appear so, although it's debatable whether it is an illness per se. The truth is, they are both aging at an accelerated rate. Yes, significantly faster than the average person. But so far, I have not managed to determine the cause.
Cutting years off their lives? What a turn of phrase! That sounds horrible!
There are a few other remedies I can try, even if it's just trial and error at this point. This morning I sent Chi-Chi to Mount Qingsa to look for a certain herb. There's still a chance we might turn things around if we're lucky. Oh, and speaking of Qingsa, has his lordship been there recently, Master Xingqiu? And then the patient from Mondstadt, who I just saw, tells me he stopped off in Qingsa village during his journey. I can't help but wonder if there's some connection.
Wait, so Tao Du's remains? That's what's causing this mystery illness?
Not to steal anyone's thunder, but while I do suspect a connection with Qingsa village, I highly doubt that god remains are the cause.
Good point. Then what could be the true cause?
Master Xingqiu, I will head to Qingsa village to investigate further after Qiqi returns. Hopefully, I will have more answers after that.
Yeah, we're pros at gathering stuff. Just tell us where to go and we'll track down those herbs, no problem.
I am most grateful for the offer. I'll be sure to let you know if I need your assistance. Merely doing my duty. Don't worry about me. I'm keenly aware of my limits.
Hey, come on now. We get that you don't want us to worry, but there's no need to downplay it, alright? We should be supporting you here, not the other way around. Hey! Paimon's always been smart. Even though Baizhu ruled out God remains as the cause, Paimon still wants to get to the bottom of this Tao Du business. Oh, it's a shame Kuching had to disappear before she could tell us more. True. Then let's head back and ask her. Come on, Xiangling's waiting on us too.